charges brought against you. Now that you are in power, you are seeking to prosecute her on corruption charges. You're seeking to charge her sons. You're trying to extradite one of her sons from abroad. You are chasing her in the way that she chased you.
Again, I will say that it is your, misconcept, because we didn't file any case against her or her son. It was done by the caretaker government, not our government. Only law will take its own course. So it is continuing.
In the last few weeks, new charges have been laid against her family.
No. It is the continuation of those, investigation and all. And our judiciary is totally independent.
Right now, could you not just take this opportunity on this program to say that you want to reach out to her? You would like to bury the differences that have dogged your country for so long, because you would like to heal and reconcile.
Of course we have done it. Only thing you don't see it. And that's why I'm telling you that you go through the history from 2001 to 2006 and during my 3 years. We never try to take any revenge or anything. Rather, we make sure that, yes, they should enjoy their fundamental rights, constitutional rights, democratic rights. Because we believe in democracy and we should continue democratic system in our country. So, it is nothing personal. The difference
it is personal.
No, of course not. You can't say that. This is nothing personal. It is absolutely ideological. We believe democracy, we believe in secularism, we believe in constitutional procedure. There is the big difference. Their party, look, their party, it is military dictator's party. Their outlook and the formation of the party totally different from my party.
Well, if you are so different, why has the UN Human Rights Council issued a recent report on your country saying, quote, human rights violations continue unabated in Bangladesh, including extrajudicial deaths, torture and cruel treatment in law enforcement custody?
Yes. Now the point is, it was during my predecessor. That means...
But with the greatest of respect, Prime Minister, you are now in charge and you have been for 3.5 years, and all of the evidence suggests that the abuses are continuing.
No, it is not continuing. But once it has been established, and during that time, how many people been killed? We have reduced it. Not only that, we have given training how to keep human rights, or with the help, assistance of UK government or US government or other. We have been giving them training, and if anybody commit any kind of, misdeed, immediately we bring them to book.
Well, in that case, if that's the message...
There is a difference. You should see it. Once
if that is the message, Prime Minister, how come 22 people have disappeared this year alone, including the very significant labour and trades union activist Aminul Islam, who had been detained, he'd been tortured, and he ended up dead?
It is not true. May I ask one question? How many people disappeared from London every year?
Political prisoners disappeared? I would say that not one is taken away from society because of their political activities.
Listen, I don't know whether Aminul Islam is a political activist or not. Even nobody knows. His dead body...
forgive me, people do know. People know that he's been involved in labour rights campaigning for years.
Nobody knew. His dead body founded by our law enforcing agency. Nobody answers. It was our police force.
Who do you think killed him?
I don't know. Even he was an activist or labor activist. Even we didn't know. We never heard his name before. But his dead body was, found by our police. But suddenly, after that, it appeared that he was a big leader and this and that. Before that, nobody even knew that. So
if I may, Prime Minister, you keep talking about the police. Perhaps the biggest concern in Bangladesh today is that you have completely failed to rein in elements in the military which you used to criticise, particularly thinking of the Rapid Action Battalion, a unit that you criticised repeatedly when you were in opposition for their as you put it at the time, egregious human rights abuses. And now, today, under your authority, the Rapid Action Battalion is still described by human rights groups as, quote, a death squad.
No, it is not true. Yes, when Rapid Action Battalion, the RAB, was established during BNP government and started killing people, yes, I was the only one. I oppose it.
So why haven't you reined it in?
Almost it is now you should see the number of deaths. Now it has been significantly reduced. We never encourage them to do all these kind of things. No.
Well, why are they doing it then? You're the Prime Minister. Couldn't you dismantle the unit if you believe it is rotten?
Listen, it started since 2004. Once it started, it takes time to stop it. You cannot stop overnight. And we are here just for 3 years in power, 3.5 years. Significantly, we reduced it. Now you see the number.
So when we see...
we are very much careful about it. We must very much careful about it, and we are taking care of it. And anybody commit any kind of misdeed, immediately we give punishment to that. So it never happened before. I'm asking you one thing. Now you are raising this question.
The question is one of fulfilling promises. Your foreign minister very famously said when you came to power, your government came to power, there would be zero tolerance for abuses. And patently, right now, you are not operating a zero tolerance policy.
Of course we are operating, and we believe in zero tolerance policy to this kind of killing or terrorism or any kind of terrorist activities. Of course, my government will believe in that.
What about zero tolerance of corruption?
Zero.
Because the two are very much linked, aren't they? I mean, the public in your country wants to believe in the integrity of government, both in terms of respecting human rights, but also in terms of a fundamental integrity and honesty amongst public servants. We do not see that in your government.
Listen, long time in our country, military ruler ruled the country. Military-backed government ruled the country. And the immediate past government, the BNP-led government, they rule this country. And they indulge in corruption. Can you make sure that overnight you can just change it? No, you cannot. And I can assure you that my government, we are not involved in corruption. We never indulge in corruption. Had we been involved in corruption, how could we have made so much progress in the country? Our GDP, even because of this worldwide recession, we are capable, we are already, keeping our GDP above 6%. We increased our literacy rate. We increased our power generation. We developing our country. We increased our food production. How could we do it?
There is no question. Your economy is growing. Your figures on growth are impressive. But the question is who really is benefiting from the money that is coming in from your economic progress?
Of course not. I'm doing politics for the sake of the people, not for my benefit.
Then, if that's true, Prime Minister, why has the World Bank lost confidence in your government's ability to deliver on clean governance? Let's be clear about what we're talking about. The World Bank wanted to put more than $1 billion of funding into one of the most important infrastructure projects your country has seen for many, many years. That is the key Padma Bridge project. They withdrew the funding because they had alerted your government to corruption in the handing out of contracts. They wanted action. They were not satisfied with the actions that you have taken.
Suddenly, they raised the issue. Then I personally asked them, okay, and my finance minister, okay, you give the proof. They could place any substantial proof that there is corruption. They didn't. And the main point is, they have...
I'm sorry, are you denying that there has been corruption in the handing out of contracts for this Padma Bridge project?
Of course. Listen,
I'm puzzled because you're one of the key ministers who stands accused of involvement in this has just quit your government. Why is that then? If there was no wrongdoing, why has he done that?
many people started accused him, so he resigned. He has done a brave thing. Had he been involved with this corruption, perhaps they would not have, resigned.
The question is, here, on this particular project, is quite a simple one. The World Bank sent a letter outlining their concerns. There were at least 4 different itemized concerns about corruption. Now, you have the opportunity to publish that letter, to tell the Bangladeshi people exactly what the World Bank's concerns were.
No.
You've consistently refused to do that. Why will you not publish that letter?
You cannot do that because there is an embargo.
No, the World Bank have said they're quite happy for you to do it.
No, it is not true.
Well, it is
they
true.
They cannot do it.
We've checked with them. They say you have the right, if you want
to publish. They should publish.
No, they say they cannot publish, but
Why
you
not?
can.
Why not?
Because that's the way the World Bank relationship with individual states works. You have the right to do it, they do not.
The letter doesn't mean anything. They should have proved with it. They couldn't supply any substantial proof with that letter. Just a letter cannot, prove that, yes, there is corruption. Time and again, we asked it.
The opposition says that letter points a finger at you and other senior figures in your government. Is that true?
You can point anybody, and opposition can do it. It is opposition job. My point is, our Anti-Corruption Commission, already they are investigating it. And they asked World Bank to send all the documents, paper, and they denied to send it. Now my question is, why they deny? If they have substantial proof, why they deny to supply all the papers or documents they have? They are not supplying. I personally wanted. At first they placed 2 letters to me, and that was not my government or not my minister. It's the previous government. I pointed out that this is not my government or my minister. So you give me the proof. Twice they did it, they couldn't prove. So, unnecessary, you cannot just accuse one without substantial proof.
All right.
That is important.
Prime Minister, let me put it this way. It seems a shame for the Bangladeshi people, many of them living in dire poverty, that your relationship with the World Bank has soured so badly. It also seems a shame for the Bangladeshi people that your relationship with one of the most respected business leaders in your country, the Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, has also soured so badly. Why did you call him a bloodsucker of the poor?
You go to Bangladesh, you see in your eyes, then you will see. But I didn't mention his name. But how could you say that he did it? Did I mention his name? I didn't. But I said someone. But why it occurred in your mind...
Sorry, let's be clear about this. Are you now denying that you see Muhammad Yunus as a bloodsucker of the poor?
No, I am putting a
So
question.
you do see it?
I am putting a question to you that why it occurred in your mind that it is he. Why?
No, I think you're misunderstanding me. I've been reading the Bangladeshi press. Everybody, it seems, in the Bangladeshi media believes that you referred directly to Mr. Yunus when you used this phrase, a bloodsucker of the poor. If you want to retract it, or if you want to tell me that you didn't mean him, then that's fine. Did you mean him or not?
Listen, I'm telling you one thing. Taking interest, 40%, 45%, or 30% interest from these poor people, is it fair? It is not. How can these poor people can stand by themselves? If you lend money and you are taking 35 to 45% interest.
So the entire model built by Grameen Bank and Muhammad Yunus, which has been celebrated around the world as a way of lifting poor people out of poverty, you're saying you do not accept it, you do not want it.
I want that there should be an inquiry that how many people come out from poverty because of that. Even his own village, if you go, how many people? Poverty reduction is done by my government. Within 3 years, we reduced 10% poverty reduction. So, it is our government. And about this Grameen Bank, it is a government, a statutory body. It's a government established.
Isn't the truth, Prime Minister, that you forced Muhammad Yunus out of his role in Grameen Bank after he tried to set up an independent political party in 2007. That's why you turned against him.
Listen, that time I was in custody. I was in jail when he tried to form his political party.
I know, and you've never forgiven him for
such a big person. Why he failed? I was in the jail. He has every opportunity. Why he couldn't form his party? Have you ever thought about it? Well, besides that, I'm telling you, I didn't oust him from the Grameen Bank. It is he himself did it. I'm telling you, according to Grameen Bank law, one MD can remain till he is at the age of 60. How old he is? Up to 70 or 71 years.
He's perhaps
71.
The most celebrated Bangladeshi
I know
of
that,
modern times.
and it is my government.
Tell him that he has to leave the bank because he's too old.
No, I didn't. It's a misconception. His age didn't permit him. But he went to the court. He filed case against my government and the Governor General of the Bangladesh Bank. He filed cases. Because of this case, he was defeated.
When you talk about Muhammad Yunus, when you talk about Khaleda Zia, there is a sense of animosity, a sense that the divisions in Bangladeshi society have not healed, which tells me that you have not achieved your aim of unifying your country.
My country is unified. My country is unified because if you go through the result of the election, you can judge this.
With
you
respect,
mentioned about...
You've seen an attempted coup in your country in the last 12 months.
True.
You've seen the opposition put hundreds of thousands of people on the streets. You've seen the opposition say that they may not contest the next election because of constitutional changes that you have made, which they say fundamentally threaten democracy. How can you tell me that your country is unified?
Of course not. Rather, we amended the constitution that ensured democratic right of our people, fundamental right of our people. Because unconstitutional or authoritarian government cannot come in future. They cannot capture power illegally. That we make sure in the constitution. And that way we ensure our people's democratic right.
Before we finish then, let's just stick with this idea that you believe you're on a long-term trajectory to real economic improvement and progress. There is one fundamental problem facing your country which goes far beyond party politics or some of the other issues we've discussed. That is the threat of climate change.
Yes.
We now have experts in your own country saying that, and I'm quoting Atik Rahman here from the Bangladesh Center for Advanced Studies, more than 30 million Bangladeshis are liable to lose everything from climate change and rising sea levels in the next 30 to 50 years. What
steps for the mitigation and for 135 action plan we have taken? Already we have started implementing it, and we receive many commitments. Yes, we are receiving a very small fund, but we need more support from the world so that those who are responsible for this climate change, for global warming, those countries should come forward and assist us, because we are the worst sufferer. Our people will be worst sufferer. So they should come forward and they should place before, funding so that we can assist our people. You should see what we have done and what we have started, how to save our people, how to save our country. We have started building, green belt. We have started raising our rivers. We have started building cyclone shelter, flood shelter for our people. Already in the southern part, many work has been started.
Final question, Prime Minister. You came to office after a substantial election victory with hopes very high that you really could change Bangladesh. Do you believe you have changed
Yes,
Bangladesh?
I believe it. Already we have taken action plan. It's a long-term plan, short-term plan. We have a vision 2021. already we have adopted our program, this sixth 5 years plan for economic development. We have already started implementing, and then up to 2020 we have our mission how to develop the country, a long-term program. So I believe only I can bring change, because my politics, it is for the people, poor people of our country. I do politics to not only bring change to our people's life, also I want to make sure that our people should get their basic needs, fundamental rights. So that way we are working, and I believe that yes, only I can do it. My party.
Interesting you say that. You've just actually prompted another question in my mind. Only I can do it, you say. Does that mean you definitely intend to run again in 2013-14?
No.
Because some Bangladeshis say it's time for a generational change, that for all of the long-term struggle between you and Khaleda Zia and your parties, the best thing for Bangladesh in the next election would be for both of you to leave the stage and introduce a new generation of leaders.
It depends on people.
But you would like to run again?
Of course, I'll do, if my party permit me, if my people permit me. I'm doing politics for my people, for my party. So if my party, I means it is not I, it is my party, our party. Yes, I should have used the word our. I know that.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, thank you very much for being on Hard Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.